I'm Geeta Johar, and I am a professor at Columbia Business School and also the Vice Dean for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. When I first took on this role last year, I didn't anticipate the convergence of crises that we would be facing in 2020. A global and deadly pandemic, a renewed spotlight on anti-Black violence and systemic racism, and an economic catastrophe that is all disproportionately impacting our communities of color. While I'm saddened by what we see and the fact that there's a long road ahead to equality and justice, I'm also reassured by the passion, the strength, and the power of people all over the world trying to address these issues. Let me tell you a little bit of the work that we do at Columbia Business School in the areas of diversity, equity, and inclusion. All of our work is rooted in our value statement, which you can read online, and I encourage you to do so. The value statement is a document that all of us abide by in our day-to-day interactions and in the way we think of Columbia Business School. It includes an emphasis on inclusion and respect and dignity, and at the same time acknowledges that we are a university and acknowledges issues of differences and shared identities. And it is rooted in our shared intellectual freedoms. Based on that value statement, the DEI initiative has 3 pillars. The work that we do can be discussed along community diversity, our first pillar, classroom and curriculum inclusion, which is our second pillar, and culture and climate, which is our third pillar. Let me tell you a little bit about each of these pillars. So in terms of community diversity, we are trying to address diversity in our student body and in our faculty, as well as in our staff. We are working closely with our alumni to try to address these issues, trying to build a more diverse class, trying to build a more diverse faculty, both full-time as well as practitioner or adjunct faculty. Our second pillar is classroom and curriculum inclusion. By that I mean that our classroom materials and the tone and atmosphere in the classroom is inclusive. We're trying to ensure that the cases and examples that are used in the classroom have leaders who look like all of us and are not necessarily from the same stripe. One way to do this is to bring our students together with our faculty and to work on reviewing and refreshing our materials. That work happened intensively this summer, and we had over 50 students working as Dean's Summer Fellows with over 30 faculty. And together, they looked at all the classroom materials through the lens of diversity, equity, and inclusion. I'm hopeful that this will lead to content and cases that reflect our society better. The third pillar of our work is culture and climate. This is kind of all-encompassing, and it talks about the value statement as well as how we live these values and how we educate ourselves to all be better citizens of Columbia Business School and of the world. We've been doing a number of trainings and workshops on power and bias and lots of different topics. And this has happened at the student level and at the faculty level and the staff level. And we plan to continue these in a thematic way going forward. You may ask, what can I do as a student at Columbia Business School to further diversity, equity, and inclusion? First, there's a student advisory board that's called CBS Reflects, which is the DEI initiative at the student level. And I would encourage you to find out more and join them in their important work. Second, we rolled out a new tool this last year called Name Coach. Name Coach is a tool you'll find on your Canvas page, and it asks you to record your name pronunciation and select your gender pronouns. And this is a way to run a truly inclusive classroom as well as a community. All your peers and your faculty will be able to consult Name Coach and know how to say your name as well as your gender pronouns. I encourage you to take 2 minutes to complete this tool as soon as possible. And third, I want to tell you about a really important co-curricular mandatory initiative that we plan to roll out next year. This initiative is called the Phillips Pathway to Inclusive Leadership. It's named after Kathy Phillips, a professor at Columbia Business School, an expert in the area of diversity and inclusion, who passed away unexpectedly this year. 2 students who graduated in 2020 have designed and created the Phillips Pathway in her honor. What the pathway does is gives every student an awareness of their own cultural competencies, their own biases, through taking an assessment before they even arrive at Columbia Business School. And during their time at Columbia Business School, every student is required to attend some trainings and workshops of their choice out of a menu or set of offerings that can help them to improve their competencies in critical areas. And then when they graduate from Columbia Business School, every student can retake that assessment to see areas in which they've improved and where there is still room for improvement. We plan to roll this initiative out next year, so please stay tuned for more information. All of our work is done along with a DEI committee of committed faculty, staff, and students. So anytime you want to get in touch with us, please reach out to me directly or to the students on the DEI committee. These are the leaders of CBS Reflects, as well as the VPs of citizenship on the EXBO, Executive Board for Student Government. Lastly, I just want to say that it's going to take all of us to make a difference at Columbia Business School. And I look forward to working with all of you to really make sure that we have an inclusive environment where every single person feels that they belong. Thank you for listening.